Okay, so we're gonna practice placing a bandage. Technically speaking, it's called a modified Robert Jones. A Robert Jones bandage is one of those really big fat ones, like let's say a patient breaks its femur and we're gonna do surgery tomorrow. You put this huge bandage with cotton to stabilize it overnight, just so that it's like secure. But a modified Robert Jones kind of has most of the same materials, it's just smaller. So that's what this is called. It's 3 layers. But the first thing we want to start with is like stirrups, and that's what keeps it from sliding. Sometimes I forget to start with that, and then they will slide right off if you don't sort of anchor it down. So if I'm ever placing a bandage for a doctor, like let's say it's on a paw or a back leg, I just ask them if they want the toes out or not. Sometimes they want the toes to stick out a little bit, because if a bandage is too tight and the toes start to separate a little bit, that's an indication that they're swelling because the bandage is too tight. So some doctors like the toes to be out. Sometimes they like the whole foot wrapped, and I let them make that decision on how they want their bandage to do. So I'm gonna just cover the toes. So if I cover the toes, I put stirrups on both sides going up. Like that. Lovely flamingo. So I have stirrups on. Now I'm gonna start with cast padding, then we're gonna do cling, and then we're gonna do vetwrap. So the cast padding and the cling can actually be rather snug. The tertiary layer or third layer is the one that you want to just drape on. That's the one that can cause their foot to swell if you put it on too tight. So these two you can put rather snug. So I'm gonna, if I'm covering the toes, I usually start like this, and I go like around it that way, and then around it again, and then I start to kind of go like half, like cover half of the previous layer, if that makes sense. And this can be nice and snug. And then when I get to the top, I rip it off. So that's my first layer. Now I'm gonna take the cling, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna start like this. I'm gonna go like a U, and then I'm gonna go back again, kind of overlapping, and then back again. Sometimes it takes some practice to not have your fingers like totally in the way. And this can be nice and snug. And I'm overlapping, covering like half of the previous layer. Okay, and then this one doesn't rip, so I gotta cut it. Now this is the point where you will fold down your stirrups. So I'm gonna kind of fold it down. So now the first part of the sticky on the leg holds it there, and then this part pulls down, and hopefully it shouldn't slide. Okay, so now that's like that. Now the vet wrap, in an effort to really make sure I don't put it on too tight, I'm actually gonna loosen it a whole bunch. So I'm gonna like pull a bunch out and then wrap it back up so that I'm not like cranking it off the roll and it goes on tight. So I really want to do everything I can to make sure I don't put that one on too tight. So now I have it nice and loose, and I'm gonna again do that layer just like I did the other two. I'm gonna start on the bottom, back and forth, and I'm just kind of like, I'll pull it out, but I'll like not have it tight. I'm gonna have it rather loose, and I'm just gonna drape this layer on. Overlapping. Now, let's see if we can get Elastikon. Where did I find some of that? Down here?
Yep.
Okay. So, 2 other things you can do. I'm gonna take a piece of Elastikon and cut it long ways. Elastikon is super sticky. And sometimes at the top, I'll put that, so a little bit's on the pet's fur and a little bit's on the bandage as another way to keep it from slipping. So like halfway up there, I'll get some on the fur and half on the fur, half on the bandage, and kind of make it stick real good. And also on a foot, sometimes I'll put some right on this is to the bird's arm, but like whatever part of the foot that's going to hit the floor, I may put like a little piece here, so it just keeps the bandage from ripping too easily on the floor. And that is a 3-layer bandage.
Cool.